Hi, welcome to the Coaching Game. I'm Laurie Lawson, and tonight I'm so excited. I have my old friend back, Judith Costa. Hey, Judith.
Hey, Laurie. I'm so happy and excited to be here with you today.
I know. She's sharing her trip to New York with us, and I'm thrilled. Judith is an unconditional love coach, and we already had a conversation about it. Everybody goes, what is that? Which is good. It sparks interest.
I'll explain that.
Oh, good, do that. But she, as you can see at the bottom of the screen, she does a whole bunch of other stuff. And I have to keep checking in with her because every time I think I have it down, she chooses something else. So now she's got a whole bunch of new programs that sound fantastic. So Judith, catch us up since last time you were here.
Then life puts you in situations, new situations, and you have to make decisions, and things happen. Then,
yes, they do.
You know. Then I believe that when you met me when I was a student of coaching, and I was only talking about how to find love and soulmates and all this idea about what true love is.
Right.
That's the title of Unconditional Love. I can help you to find the right partner for you. But what I realized is that my clients had difficulties because they don't know they didn't love themselves.
Isn't that amazing? But it sounds so simple, but it's not.
No, because I believe that, me included, we all have this problem. Then it was a perfect evolution from how to find your soulmate to the program of fall in love with yourself. And then what happened that I was diagnosed with cancer at the end of 2016. And I went into a quest of healing myself. And there's a new program created from the experience since I had the surgery in 2018. And it's a new program called Fall in Love with Your Body. Then all is about love. That's the reason why I'm Unconditional Love Coach.
Seems to be the key word here, yeah.
But self-love is so related with happiness and true joy and being fulfilled. Then that's the reason why I chose the card that I chose.
Right. What you chose was, as you can see, joy. And these people are looking like they're having a very good time. And yeah, joy is, I don't know. Is joy possible without love? I don't know. That's something for, I guess, philosophers to figure out. But it certainly is a key component, I think, yeah.
For philosophers and for all of us, because the problem is that we live our lives in autopilot. And we are rushing from one place to the other. I gave a lecture. I have a new program also for companies called Doing More by Working Less. And it's so perfect for New York.
Definitely.
Where there is a city that never sleeps, where everybody is running through the streets. Then what's the problem with us that we have a wonderful thing called life and we cannot really enjoy it? Then what is going to happen if I tell you that tomorrow is your last day to live? Are you going to continue rushing through the streets and doing the same things that you do every day?
Probably, and going faster because I only have one day to do it, yeah.
Yeah. Then think about this idea. You don't have to be in danger. Your life has not to be threatened and for you to make decisions and to change your life. Then what happened to me with the cancer is not that I was scared because I was dying. Thanks God it was an easy thing to solve. My nodule in the thyroid was not aggressive. Then I had 1.5 years to invest in myself and to transform my life. And I'm doing this for a living. Then I already had the tools. I was so grateful for the people that I found during this path that helped me, that put me in the right path, that helped my body. And now I want to do this for others. That's the idea behind this new course.
And I know when I was talking to Judith about this, when she had been diagnosed, and it was like, oh, I don't know what to do, but I'm checking here and I'm checking there. And she goes, but what I really need to do right now is just devote time. I'm not worried about clients. I'm just really need to devote time to myself. And I said, wow, what a rational way to deal with a catastrophic, and no matter how benign and how simple the whole thing is. Once you hear that word, it's like, what?
No, I call the cancer a blessing, and to say
many
this,
people do after they get through
this,
it.
May sound difficult for people. Again, my life was not at risk. I didn't feel that I was about to die or anything like that. And the oncologist told me, you can try all these things that you do. It's the way they call alternative medicine or holistic medicine. Then I tried so many things, I'm writing a book about the whole experience. And what I can tell you is like when I stopped working, really working and focusing on clients, my business at its me started thriving because at the same time I put everything aside, I connected with myself. The first month after being diagnosed, not only I stopped working, that I launched a new website, I had an idea for a new book, I created my first weekend retreat. I had not enough. I decided to do a 1-week retreat called Loving Your Way to Happiness. That for not being working, so many things happened.
Sounds like she was working, but
yeah, I was so inspired, so creative. I felt connected again when I started devoting time just to love myself, without limits, without restrictions. At that moment, I was grateful because I had money in the bank and someone that supported me, and I could take the time and the effort just to take care of my body, of my emotional needs, and to reconnect with myself. And just, what is to love yourself? It's to put yourself as a priority. It's to decide that life is important enough to live it to the fullest.
Well, are you saying that when you stopped all the insanity, and
you said that?
Yeah, well, yes, because I'm guilty of it, and so are you. It's like, how much can I schedule in one day? Yes. Yeah. So, are you saying when you stopped all that and you started taking care of yourself, you were able to connect with your clients better?
When I connected with myself, everything started flowing.
Okay.
Then
so if you needed clients, they came, and if you didn't, then you needed the time alone.
But not only that. I mean, I never closed the business. I never said to any of my clients I have cancer. I mean, only few people knew it, but I didn't have any symptom. I was feeling wonderful. I changed my diet. I started doing yoga and qigong. I had more energy than ever. I was waking up at 4:30 in the morning. Then I had more hours in my day, and I was feeling great. Then what are you going to do when you have all this time and you feel creative and you feel connected and you love what you do passionately? Because I don't do this for living. This is my purpose.
Right.
Even if I win the lottery tomorrow, I will continue doing this.
So what you're telling people is not to go out and get cancer, but you're saying there are benefits to that, and how can we do that in an everyday way?
Again, you don't need a challenge in your life to stop and start asking you questions. Questions such as, what makes you happy? What do you want to do with the rest of your life? When you put yourself as a priority, let's say that you really love yourself no matter what, when you become your best friend, love is not just a theory or a philosophy. Love is a verb. It has to be demonstrated into action. Then what means is that if you say you love yourself, you have to start choosing that experiences and that relationships that really demonstrate that you have this love for yourself that you say. Then what happens is your choices start being different. Let's imagine that it's a real case. I'm in New York. I have clients that want to see me. Yesterday I gave a lecture. Today I'm here with you today. Then there is a moment where I have to say, when a friend calls, are we going to see each other? Then my first reaction is yes, because I'm in New York. I want to see you, and let's make it happen. My second thought is, I'm tired, I cannot make it. Tomorrow I have to be there for my clients. I need to rest and sleep. And if I love myself, I have to choose self-care and not saying yes to my friend because I don't want to disappoint this person. Then this is just self-care, but self-love is a ton of things. It's self-forgiveness, it's self-expression, it's setting up boundaries, it's saying no when you have to say no. But it's saying yes to life at the same time.
I like that. Well, can you differentiate, because I have this problem, can you differentiate between selfish and self-care? Because it's like, you know, this person, I'm only going to be here today, and I have an hour on my calendar. That's it. I am so calendar driven. It's not, do you want to do it? It's like, can you fit that in? And I have to really stop myself. but I feel selfish afterwards. Well, what's that? Can you help me?
Oh, yes.
Oh, good.
We'll be happy to.
Thank you.
The problem is that when we start taking others into consideration more than ourselves, we tend to make decisions not based on our self-love, based on not disappointing others or pleasing others. There is this category, and I have been there, where you're a people pleaser, like all the time. And what happens is, again, when you start building this level of self-love, your choices become different, and then this guilt doesn't come to you anymore because you are more focused on loving yourself than on really what you can give to others. Why? Because you cannot share what you don't have. Then if you don't love yourself, what you are giving others is not love. It's something.
And actually, and you end up feeling resentful. It's like, oh, now I got to rush around and do this.
But that's the problem. When love, it can be called sacrifice, then it's not love.
Exactly.
And this is what happens. If I overdo, if I'm going to the party with my friend and I'm so tired, I'm sacrificing myself. I don't even have fun because I'm exhausted.
Yeah.
Then that's the problem. We believe that we have to be there for others, but your first responsibility is to be here for yourself. Because when you will have a health problem related with the level of stress, with the anxiety, with the going autopilot, or a broken relationship, or problems in your job, you are going to blame the whole situation. But the only thing that we need to do is to be responsible for our lives now. And responsibility is not a bad thing, because sometimes we feel it like it's this heavy thing on top of us. And it's not, because if you are responsible, you can do something to change your life. You know what I mean? It's on you.
Yeah.
You have a choice. What people feel when they are stuck is that they are choiceless. They are powerless. And that's not true. You always hold the key of your life.
Yeah.
You can always choose to be happy and joyful when you get up every day.
It's so interesting because we've had, I won't say a rash, but in the last 2 days we've had 2 big-time celebrities commit suicide. And it's like, okay, so obviously money and fame are not fail-proof things against being unhappy. Yeah. And so you're saying the choice is ours. And it's like, it's up to us to view. I think what I like about coaching is that it's like, okay, there are challenges, but challenges present opportunities. So it's like, okay, what's the opportunity? Great. Yeah, it's like, okay, what can I learn from this? What can I do?
Is that it doesn't matter if you are 5 years old or 55 years old. When you get up in the morning and you put your feet on the floor, know that happiness is a decision. And it's not a decision, it's a daily decision that you make. The same as love. We are used to have the idea of love as finding someone that recognizes the love that we offer and give it back to us.
Yeah.
No, true love is the love between soulmates. It's the unconditional love. I can love someone in spite of this someone, no matter what the person is, with the good and the not as good, because I choose to love. Then happiness doesn't come from external circumstances. And the way we live life is by postponing our happiness. I will be happy when I have the house.
When I win the lotto.
When I had the money, and what happens? At a higher level, like these people that you are talking, when they have the house, the money, the fame and everything, and they feel empty, now what are you going to do? That you have a bigger problem. Because if you have expectations, you feel like maybe when I have the money, maybe when I have...
Yeah.
But there is a moment where you have to just stop. Hire a coach.
Please.
No, you can do this on your own. Of course, we are there to help, but just stop and figure out what you want to do with your life.
That's I find that if I ask a client, it's like, well, what do you want? It's like it's like deer, the headlight deer, and it's like, what? I mean, I don't think people ever really think about. It's like, what can I get? How much can I, how much do I deserve?
The worst question for a client is when I ask them, what do you want to do with the rest of your life?
And they
freak out. That's so big for me. I mean, why are you asking me this question? I don't even know what I'm going to do tomorrow. Then imagine with the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Then as coaches, we break this into pieces and we start like, okay, let's talk about finances, about relationships, about But
what's
you know what
working, what
happens?
isn't working. Yeah, yeah.
That self-love will improve every area of your life. Your life will be transformed 360 degrees.
Yeah, yeah.
If you want more abundance, love yourself more. If you want more love, love yourself more. If you want more money, love yourself more. If you do I have to continue?
I'm catching a theme here. Yes. I think your progression, and you kind of zip through it. Your progression was it's so interesting because you started out with how to find your soulmate, right? And then how to love yourself.
Yeah.
And then where did you go from there?
Now the program is fall in love with your body, but
Right.
I combine the two of them. I mean, in New York in September, it's the last weekend of September, people can register for a one-day workshop on fall in love with yourself, or can register for a one-day in fall in love with your body.
Or both together.
Both together
Yeah.
at a discounted price.
Okay.
Then I usually, when I come to town, I do a free lecture because I want to interact with people, that they see me. And the lecture is called Loving Yourself is the Solution.
Ah, okay.
Then it's a kind of a little workshop because it's more interactive. It's not me talking only. And that's like the base, but the soulmate is still there. And now there is a new program that it's a 1-week retreat. It's my most complete program that includes everything I teach, called Loving Your Way to Happiness. And this is going to happen in Barcelona, in Spain, in October. Then if you don't have the opportunity to go to the New York events, just go to Barcelona, and then you will get everything in one.
And then you can get it all done, and then the whole thing going on there.
It's a transformational thing because again, joy, it sounds like, or happiness, something that is there but it's not achievable. But I can tell you that it's right there waiting for you.
Well, the newest one for me, because I'm familiar with your stuff, is fall in love with your body. How does it? And everybody knows it's like, okay, you don't have to wait to lose 20 pounds, but how does that relate to the cancer diagnosis?
Because.
And this could be for any ailment that you think you have, or you're afraid you're going to get, or whatever. So that's why I'm asking. Yeah.
Because. I was trained by Brian Weiss in past life therapy regression. Brian Weiss has a wonderful book that it's called Meditation, where he explains so well what are the effects of the stress in your life. That stress can cause anything. And one of the things that the stress does, it doesn't mean only physical, also emotional stress, put your immune system down. Then all of us have cancer cells, but not everybody develop cancer.
Yeah.
And it's very important to understand that there is something called the soul medicine. Every sickness that you have, every symptom that you are experiencing is your body saying, hello, I need help, this is not working.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
We tend to kind of put aside the symptoms. We don't want to feel. If I ask you fever is good or bad, what are you going to tell me?
Bad.
No, fever is so good because if you don't know that you have fever, you don't know that you have an infection, and then you die.
Yeah.
And now, what are we gonna do?
Then
don't try to put the symptoms down and just take a pill and that's it. Go into an investigation, a research of what is the connection between what you have and what you are experiencing. What is going on in your life, and also. The founder of Hay House, Louise Hay, has a wonderful book that connects all of this.
You can heal yourself.
Yeah. I can recommend a lot of material about that. But what's this reflection? When I was going through this quest to try to heal myself, I read so many books. I have a big library, but I bought 20 more. Then I discovered what happens with the alkaline diet. What happens that we not only accumulate toxins in our body, in terms of what we eat and the pesticides, and we have emotional toxins. We eat all these events that we don't know how to digest that are there.
Wow.
Then the body that you are accumulating, the diet that is not working, the pounds that you want to lose are related not only with what you eat. If everything will be about calories, I'm sure that more people will be thin right now.
Yes, that's true.
Then what happened? The course is based on why you gain and lose weight or why you don't. What is the power of your thoughts and emotions in your health? How you can love yourself and your body no matter what. what is behind of the image that you want to give to the world.
Wow.
Then all these concepts that are really needed out there, because a lot of clients say, yeah, I want to tend to this one, are important because we are not receiving these tools in the school.
No,
We just
no.
are like, throw into the world and solve your problems.
And here's the pill. And I love what you said about pills, because I remember I had, and it's always stuck with me, I had a chiropractor, and I go, well, should I take an aspirin because it really hurts? He goes, no. He goes, how are you going to know when it's cured? How are you going to, he says, no, you don't take the aspirin, you know, resist it. I mean, if you're crawling on the floor and moaning, maybe take the aspirin, but it's interesting. So, and I love what you're saying, you should embrace your symptoms, whatever they are, because they're trying to tell, your body's trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
My philosophy is, and I remember when I was having back trouble, and I ended up laying on the floor for 3 months because I couldn't walk. And it was like, okay, I knew in my head I was having back problems, but I would not stop. I had things to do at work. And so I said, and my philosophy is now, if you're not smart enough to listen to your head, your body's going to stop you in your tracks.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what happened to me. And it was like, okay, you will now lay on the floor for 3 months until this goes away, or you have surgery, which I did. But
that's the theory, or you stop or your body stops you.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
That is not a problem, but why we resist so much? Why instead of thinking that there is a different way, a new way of living, that you can right now start being happier than yesterday, we wait until we have a bigger challenge. Like then is the illness, then is the divorce, then is the no job or no money. Guys, let's start doing it now. Like step by step, let's improve our life, learn a little bit about self-love and happiness, and let's become happier.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is a lady who can help you do it, for sure. So let's see. All right, so you're saying the next thing's coming up. I know you're here right now to do a bunch of stuff, but we're not going to talk about that because this show is not airing exactly live. The next thing coming up is 2 workshops in New York City, September 29th and 30th.
Yeah.
And they can be fall in love with yourself and fall in love with your body, and that can go together. And so when people are, let's say, taking the fall in love with your body, what the typical fall in love with your body stuff is, okay, you're great as you are. Now, you're not talking about that, are you? I mean, you're okay as you are, but it's like
this is happening on Saturday. This is happening on Saturday, but not at the level of you just have to repeat as a parrot. No, you are lovable, you are lovable, you are lovable. Because if you don't connect with this, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But in 8 hours, we have enough time. This is like a city retreat. You spend 2 days with me, and it's not about theory. It's about experiencing what self-love is.
And connecting.
Being in a group. My groups are so small because I want to pay attention to every person that registers. I coach you. We do meditation. We do mindfulness. We do exercises. I mean, I just want to share something with you today. If you want to start loving yourself, ask yourself this question in front of every decision, big or small. What is the best choice for me now? And don't forget the now. Because when you start putting distance between the things that you do, like you create a gap, and the idea that you have the power to choose, then you start making better decisions in terms of self-love. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's a process. Loving yourself is not going to happen right away in that course, but I had a lot of clients that we were doing coaching. They registered in the workshop, and they discovered that they have the right to say no, to live the life that they want, that they cannot take responsibility for other people's emotions and how others feel, but they should take responsibility for their own emotions. Then it's a very
that's interesting.
Yeah, it's a very life-changing experience, and I'm not saying it because I do it. I mean, register in any other workshop of any other professional, that there are several that do great stuff about self-love, because self-love is the key to be happier.
But that's interesting. Because sometimes you feel like, oh, look how loving I am. I'm giving to this person. But if you're doing it at the expense of yourself, then as you say, that's not really love.
But that's the problem with love, that people think that they are, I'm not talking about being in love, that this is something that happens with our hormones and all of this and that. I'm talking about when you establish a relationship. For me, a relationship, and I told you this before, is two mature individuals that decide to share the love that they already have for themselves. Then when you look at a relationship this way, is that I cannot have a relationship with you if you don't love yourself, because then you become needy, you try to control me, you ask for more love.
You become paranoid, you're jealous, you're suspicious.
Then we have a problem.
Yeah.
Then that's the reason why I teach self-love. When people come to me and they do like, do you do couples therapy? And I say, no, I'm sorry, I don't do that. But what I do is I work independently with the two of you on loving yourself more, because I know that this reverts into the relationship. And then the relationship, I have saved so many marriages this way, but I don't have to work in the relationship. The relationship is a result of you being happy with who you are and having your tank and battery of love to the fullest. And then when you're full of love, you cannot resist the temptation of sharing it with others. Then that's the idea.
That is such a, and you're right, you did tell me before, and I love the concept. It's like two mature people, fully in love with themselves, who want to share this love with each other. And so healthy. In our last 90 seconds, can you, what advice do you have for people who just get swept along in the tide of doing things and get into the routine? How can you just stop and go, wait, what is good for me now?
The best thing that you can do is don't believe everything you think, because it's not true.
Okay.
Okay, your mind is designed to work 24 hours, 7 days a week, but you have a program, and the program maybe was set up there when you was from 0 to 7, and you have never realized that you have thoughts that are not yours, that someone planted there, and you never think about what are your beliefs and what are your really core beliefs. Then be a little bit mindful. Mindfulness is just observing your life without judgment, just observing. Like, take distance and look at what this monkey mind is telling you. And if the speech is not nice, like you are not going to make it, it's not going to happen, just change it. And start putting nicer beliefs, like you are lovable, you can do it, you're going to make it, and how great you are.
Yeah. And what I'm trying to do is, like, if I feel myself getting angry, if I feel myself getting sad, it's like, okay, what's this about? What are you reacting to? And usually it's nothing to do with what's actually happening. It's like something from when I was a child. And it's like, oh, wait a minute, this is crazy. To myself, yes, but that's okay. We have no time left, but but you know what? You can guarantee you're going to see her again, because I'm always going to have her as if she will come back when she's in New York. Judith Costa, I love you.
I love you. I love you so much.
Thank you so
for having
much.
me.